Hi, y'all. Welcome. So sorry about the delay. We did not have us live right immediately at 12. I'm so sorry, guys. So, welcome. We're so glad you're here. We're going to be talking about field trips and KV lives today. We appreciate your patience. This is my first time running one of these things, so I'm really excited to be here with you. All right, let's see. Hello, everyone. I'm Noelle. I'm the campus coordinator here in Austin. I'm excited to be here with you today. I also have two of my very favorite people joining me. First up, I have Ryan. Ryan, how's it going? Oh, he might have froze again. Sorry, guys. We keep losing Ryan today. There he is. Hey, Ryan, welcome back.
Thank you.
How's it going? How
Wow.
are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Nice stormy and rainy here, so just trying to hang on with the power in the internet.
Yeah, totally. I know it's a struggle today. I hope everyone's doing okay and is able to log on today. And next up, I have Nada.
Hi, Noel. Hi, everybody.
How are you doing, Nada? Are you excited for today?
I am excited. Field trips is the exciting part for us at here.
Totally. Yep, we're really pumped to be here with y'all today. So we're gonna take you through some really cool stuff for field trips and KV lives, and then we're also gonna talk about our schedules per city too, so you get a kind of an idea of what we'll be doing. So we'll take you through why we do field trips, why those are important to us, why we choose to do those. We'll talk about our protocol and organization with those field trips, and what that looks like, safety measures, all that kind of stuff. What you need to bring, what you need to pack to prepare for those field trips. Then we'll talk about why we do KV Lives. So those are also really fun. Our parents for discoverers, our 3 to 5 year olds. I'm sure that you're wondering, are you going to take my 3 year old off site to a field trip? No, we promise we will not. We are going to bring the field trip to them at their campsite. And then we'll go through each city's plans for the summer and their schedule. And then at the end, we'll have time for a Q&A. So as we go through, if you have any questions or things you're wondering about, go ahead and drop those in the chat, in the comments, and we'll be answering those at the very end. All right, y'all ready to get started?
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's do it. No more technical difficulties for us from now on. We're ready to go. All right, Ryan, we know this is your favorite part or one of your favorite parts of camp. So tell us, why do we go on field trips?
Yes, I love field trips. I look forward to it every week. They're exciting and fun. We get to go try and see new places and experience new things together as a group. And it really enhances the curriculum that we do. Our goal is for kids to be kids and to be hands-on and to be messy and sometimes loud, depending on where we're going. But a field trip gives us that new experience to learn how to work together, to follow directions, interact with the world around us, and how we do that appropriately and safely. So,
Totally. Yeah, lots of opportunities on those field trips. And here's kind of a little glimpse at our field trips right here. Our luxury buses, kids obviously having so much fun. I love this one over here on the bottom right of them all posing. They're so fun.
mhm.
Cool. All right, so let's talk a little bit about why we have all of these safety measures and things in place. And, I'm sure parents are wondering too, what does it look like for my kid to go on these field trips? So, Nada, can you tell us a little bit about our safety protocols, our organization, the venues we choose, all of that good stuff?
Yeah, as Noel mentioned, safety is our priority always, even at camp, but especially when we're going off camp. So, transporting us to the field trips, we have these full size tour buses or school buses. Every individual seat has a seat belt. For our campers and staff members, before we even depart, our kid, we make sure triple check that every kid is buckled in, including our staff. Safety is number one. And then the places we go field trip, we're very selective where we go. Most cases we can like do a private event, so it's only Kidventure in the area, not open to the public. But when it is open to the public, all safety procedures and protocol are set in place. Our campers must be in their camp shirts. It is a required for camp, but particularly at field trip, it's an easy way to identify a camper. If they're wearing the red KV shirt, the blue lead shirt, Easy to spot on right there. And then of course our staff is are always on uniform. We rotate in a very orderly manner. Field trips can be chaotic depending where we go, but even though they're chaotic, they're very organized, thought out, and planned out by your camp manager, your directors, and the coordinators as well. And always beforehand, anything is safety, safety, and having fun.
Totally. Yeah, here's one of those buses that we might be taking. They're super comfortable. We love them. We have bus companies in each of our cities that we've been working with for a long time. Some of these are drivers also that we've been working with for a long time, which is also really cool. A lot of campsites will have the same driver throughout the summer, and they get to know them and they get to know our kids, and
Mm-hmm.
they have a great time going back and forth from our field trips. So I'll show a couple pictures here too. Here they are in their red KV shirts in a line, ready to go, excited. Our campers are really awesome and respectful at our field trips. We really appreciate them for working so hard for that. Here they are in their very cozy bus here. Like, wow, that is nice. That's really cool. And then here they are at a field trip. Everyone's in their KV shirt. They're easy to spot, easy to keep track of, and we know where Kidventure is at all times. So that's really cool. Awesome.
Mhm.
All right. So, preparing for a trip. So, really important to know our field trip schedules might vary by city and by region. So, different sites might be going on different trips on different days. So, it's really important to check your camp newsletter and know when your field trip is, especially the time that they might be leaving for that field trip, especially because a lot of times it might be really close to the car line time that they are showing up. So we want to make sure that we can leave on time and everyone's on the bus where they need to be. If for some reason you do miss the bus in the morning, you can drop off at field trip. We can talk about that more a little later too. But definitely know when your field trip is, know what time they're leaving, and be ready to depart once you get after car line. Remember, they have to wear their red KV shirt. That's so important for safety reasons on all of these field trips. They should definitely have those on. Um, if you're not getting a camp lunch, one of our catered lunches, definitely pack a sack lunch. We suggest the brown paper bags just because it's easy to throw away when we're done, and take care of that really easily. Keep the buses clean, make that easier for our staff as well. Make sure you have a full water bottle for sure, especially because we might be outside. It gets hot. They want to have enough water to get them through the bus ride, field trip, all that. And of course, we'll have our cooler to refill them as well. And then definitely be on time. Know that time, be ready to go, have all your things prepared, and be excited. All
Mhm.
right. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to turn up the microphones just a little bit. I know we're getting some notes. Is that a little better? I think it is. All right, cool. Let's talk about KV Lives. All right. Nada, do you want to talk about KV Lives a little bit?
Yay. Yeah. So our KB Lives is for our discoverers. So that's anybody ages 3 to 5. You cannot pay us enough to stick a discover in a bus. It's too crazy. They're too little. We wouldn't do that. So what we bring is something special to them. It's a field trip to site. Um, and these vendors are selected as always too, particularly like some of the vendors are repeated over time of many years of Kidventure because we know who they are. They're fun, our kids love them. They're designed to provide learning and entertainment at the same time, and it's different each week, right? Versus if it's a water inflatable, a puppet show, a bubbles party, every week will be different.
Nice. Yeah, that's super awesome. We love KV Lives. So here's a couple pictures of some KV Lives we have. We have an awesome group that comes in and does these really cool bubble shows sometimes. We might bring in a little petting zoo with these cool things. Snakes. I mean, parents, if you love snakes, here you go, right here. They're super fun. The kids love them. It's a really special time and special addition to our camp curriculum to have these different people come in, hang out, and provide different opportunities that they don't normally get at camp. And these all happen weekly, which is really cool. I think that's something we might not have mentioned yet, but our Explorer program and our leads, they go on field trips once a week. So they get to go have these opportunities every single week. Our KV Lives come in also once a week. So every single week they're getting a different, really cool opportunity to learn and grow in a new way. All right.
Mhm.
So Ryan, I'm going to go to you. Tell us a little bit about Dallas field trip plans.
Oh, absolutely. We're very excited for the list of field trips we have this summer. DFW, we have a lot of opportunities for places, and so for us, going down that list, week one, we're going to go to Topgolf. We've done that in the past. The kids have a blast. It's really fun and easy to get out there and hit some golf balls. So we're going to do that to start off our summer. The Dallas Children's Aquarium in Fair Park is a great little aquarium, very interactive. We get a little animal show and get to kind of walk around and see all the cool things they have there at that aquarium. Kidzania, this is probably one of my favorite field trips here. There's not too many of these around the world, and there's one here in Dallas. And so this is a mini city where kids get to um, take on jobs like being a veterinarian, being a cook, being a
Mm.
firefighter, and they get to earn Kidzania bucks, and then they get to go spend their money how they want to throughout this city. It's a huge, I mean, it's just phenomenal when you get there. So that's one of our favorite field trips to go to, and we're excited to be back there. Hawaiian Waters there for sessions 4 and 7. That's our water park field trip. Very fun, very interactive. Kids love it. Um, Water, splash pads and slides, a little bit of wave pool. So definitely one of the fun ones to get out of the Texas heat and cool off. So um, session 5 will be at the Dallas Zoo, so we'll get to walk around and see some animals and really enjoy what the zoo has to offer. All camps, which is our all-site spirit competition, session 6. We're excited to do that at Grandscape in the Colony. We have a beautiful stage and outdoor lawn to do our performances on. And then Cosm is a new place that's very IMAX-esque. It's very immersive, and so we get to see a show there directly after our competition. So that'll be an exciting new experience for all of us, and I'm looking forward to that. Um, Texas Discovery Gardens, that is, it's a butterfly house and some other activities that are outdoors, so very interactive with nature. Um, and the kids will get to experience different things as they walk through there, so that's a lot of fun. And then the Crayola experience, make your own crayon and lots of very hands-on, even kind of messy, creative activities for the kids to do. Crayola is one of our kind of go-tos here in Dallas, so very excited for this lineup.
Yeah, those sound really cool. Kidzania, I had never heard of that. That sounds like a
Mhm.
really awesome experience.
Yeah, definitely unique for sure.
Yeah, cool. All right, now tell us a little bit about your KV Lives. Who you got coming in for those discoverers?
Yeah, for our discoverers, yeah, we love to be interactive. We love to teach them new things. And so our list starts with the fire department visit. Some of the cool things that they do here in Dallas and Plano is they do a puppet show with that. So it's very interactive. They get to meet some firefighters and see the fire truck. And so it's always one of those exciting ones, to see the community and learn a little bit as we have some fun. So we have Greg the Balloon Guy, so lots of balloon fun and art as we go through there. Inflatable maze, so we'll have some relays and races and things for them to do and be active um, with that activity. Creepy Critters, we've been doing this one for a long time, so lots of our creepy critter friends, kids get to hold and learn about safety and things like that too. Um, Back to an inflatable obstacle course. So again, some more like kind of relay field day type fun for them. Session 6 is our Kona Ice, so we'll have a little cool down there in the middle of summer and enjoy some sweet treat there. Cade's Wildlife, so that kind of petting zoo. We'll bring out some animals and they'll get to interact with that on a personal level. We have a police department visit as well, so very similar to the fire department. They'll be able to see a police car and interact and learn some safety tips and things like that. And then we'll end the summer kind of with a party. So singing, dancing, snow cones, cotton candy, those kind of things will be our session 9 KV Live.
Nice. That sounds like a great way to wrap up the summer right there.
Hmm.
Perfect. All right. Well, I'll tell you all a little bit about our field trip schedule here in Austin. We have a couple that are still in the works. They're not confirmed yet, but as soon as those are confirmed, they'll be up on our website for you to check out. Our week one, we're going to the Meadow Center. This is a really cool nature tour as well as a glass bottom boat tour. So the kids can kind of see under and look into the springs that are protected over there. It's really cool. Sometimes there's divers out there that will be waving back to them through the boat. So it's a really cool experience talking about the nature over there and preserving nature and stuff like that. Week two, we're working on that one. We'll let you know when we have that one ready to go. I know kind of what it is, but I won't spoil it. Session three, we're going to the Science Mill. I feel like this is a really cool one for our theme as well. Tanglewood Wilds, we're going to be, doing some different STEAM adventure things at camp. So Science Mill felt like a perfect addition to the curriculum for that week. They'll get to explore the Science Mill, all the stuff they have going on there, all the interactive stuff. We always love going there and visiting. Week 4 and 8, we'll be going to Typhoon, Texas. Another favorite, I know, just like Hawaiian Waters in Dallas, Typhoon, Texas is the biggest hit. We will have our kids in life jackets and be, very particular about which activities we go do. But it is a really great time, and we love going there, especially in the heat of the summer. Week 5, we're going to Crow's Nest Farm. This is a really cool place where we can go on these little tours and see different animals out at this farm, learn about how they're fed, what they need, and just taking care of different animals. So it's a really special experience. Week 6, we have all camps. All camps is just a really exciting time. I know that Ryan kind of touched on it a little bit, but all camps is when all of our camps come together and have a spirit competition. So they might do a dance and a chant, all these really cool things, along with all these rotations that they'll do throughout the day to hang out with each other at different campsites, get to know each other, and then have some fun with the little spirit competition. Week 7, we're working on that one. Week 9, we're going to the Inner Space Cavern. We'll get a cavern tour, so we go down underground and get to explore all of the cool stuff going on down there. We'll see some fossils, some different rocks, and that's always really fun to learn about those things. And then week 10, we'll wrap it up at altitude. This is a classic for us, I think. We always have fun going there and just jumping around, playing dodgeball, and being absolutely exhausted at the very end. So they'll definitely come home really tired after that one. And then our KV Lives, I'm really excited for some of these this year. They're going to be really cool. Week 1, we have Tiny Tails coming to visit. They'll bring some of their smaller animals for a little petting zoo. I just learned about mini chickens. I didn't know that those were an animal until I was talking with Tiny Tails, so we'll get to visit with those. Week 2, we'll have Alluring Bubbles. You saw a picture of them earlier. They do a really cool bubble show. They can make this huge bubble that's as big as a person that you can step through. Week 3, this is a new one for us that I'm so excited about. Bricks and Minifigs, they're going to bring a Lego and Duplo activity to us for camp. So the kids are going to have an opportunity to build something really, really cool with Legos and Duplos and kind of learn about building and all of those different types of things, as well as maybe some animal habitats and things that connect back to our theme too. Week 4, we're going to have Splash Day Plus. So we're going to be bringing in some really cool water activities to our campsite. Week 5, Foam Party, classic. We have a big foam cannon that comes in and we'll play outside in the foam. Week 6, for when our explorers are gone at all camps, our discoverers will be getting Kona Ice visit as well as an inflatable. So they'll get some of that all camps activity, but at their site, wherever they are. Week 7, we have Silly Sparkles. They bring in a puppet show, kind of an exciting just whole production for our discoverers. They all get to be in there together and participate with them, and that's always a big hit for us here. And then Splash Day Plus again, week 8, our explorers are going to Typhoon, Texas. We want to give discoverers that water time too. So we bring in Splash Day Plus when we're gone at Typhoon, Texas. And then week 9, we'll have the EMS or fire department come visit our discoverers. So similar to what they do in Dallas, they'll get to do maybe a little puppet show. They might get the hats. They'll talk about all the things that they do in their work, and that's always a really special experience too. The kids always love seeing those big trucks come in and get really excited for those visits. All right, Nada, let's go to Houston. Tell us a little bit about Houston's plans.
Hi. So for Houston, before I get into the field trips, it's very important because we have 15 different locations. We kind of split everybody up into regions, and each region has a different field trip schedule. So that's why it's not listed like Dallas and Austin. If you're wanting to know what is your particular camp location schedule, just go to that location page. And under the field trip details, they'll tell you where they're going session 1, session 2, session 3. It's very different for Houston because there's too many people. And I can't imagine 15 different locations going to one field trip. So for the Explore programs, they're going to be going to Houston Interactive Aquarium, and it's an aquarium they can walk through. They'll go through the birdhouse. They'll be able to touch stingrays. It's a lot of fun. And then we'll also go to the Oil Ranch. On there, they have a petting zoo. They get to ride ponies, ride the train. They have a giant trampoline that will go on there, and they'll get a snow cone as well. And then we will be going to Typhoon, Texas as well. As just as Austin, we wear our life jackets. We're very particular where our campers go on. And then we'll also be going to Little Beakers. This one is one of my favorite field trips. Essentially, our campers get to be tiny scientists. They'll put a lab coat on, goggles, and they'll perform little projects all throughout the field trips. It's a lot of fun. Then we'll be going to Altitude. It's a trampoline park, Constellation Field by the Space City Cowboys. So we'll take a tour of the stadium. They have a splash pad that will interact, and we'll bring our own stuff. Monster Mini Golf is new for us this year. It's an indoor putt putt. In Houston last year, we did something outdoor. It was just too hot, so I looked for something more indoor. So it's going to be an indoor putt putt, and then bowling will be scheduled as well. For our lead, so that's our middle school group, anybody entering sixth through ninth grade, they get some of the same things our explorers, but a little different. So some of the different things for leads, they'll be going to activate. So it's an interactive video game system. It's really fun. They get to jump around and actually play the video games in action. They also go to Slick City, which is a giant slide playground. So they'll go through these indoor slides. It's so much fun. That one's new to Leeds this year. Typhoon, Texas, as well for our leads. For our leads, they get a little bit more freedom. They'll get to go on some of the slides versus our explorers don't get to go on any of the slides. So they go on the bigger slides. Well, I'll correct myself. Our explorers will get to go on the Typhoon Junior, which is mini versions of the slides. Our leads get to go to the actual big slides, some of them. And then our leads will also go to Monster Mini Golf, which is an indoor putt putt location.
Nice. That sounds exciting. All right, what about those KV lives?
Yeah, so same topic with the KV Lives. All of our sites are in different regions. So if you are wondering where are they going to be, what are they going to be doing that particular week, go to that camp location. But some of the KV Lives that will be joining us this summer is Mr. Leo Puppet Show. He's a very interactive puppet show. Our kids get involved. It's so much fun. He brings music. It's a lot of fun. And then we'll have a magic show that will come to our sites. You know, very magic oriented. Texas snakes. So that is a petting zoo. So they'll actually bring the snakes. Our discoverers are very brave. They always want to pet them, carry them. They're excited to carry them around their neck. And they get to learn a little bit about the reptiles. And then to cool off, Kona Ice. We'll bring Kona Ice to them. We'll also have a face paint person that comes in and does these cool art on their faces. It's really cute. They get to be unicorns, butterflies, all throughout the thing. And then we have bubble parties. This is a really awesome one. It's a live DJ, and the DJ is very in sync with the bubbles. So whatever the music is happening, the bubbles are blowing at the same time. It's a lot of fun. And then we have the giant foam pit, like Noel mentioned. It's the giant cannons. Our discoverers love this. It's a lot of fun. And they'll have other water inflatables as well.
Cool. That's awesome. Do y'all have a favorite so far of your favorite field trip or KV Live that you're most excited about for this summer?
Typhoon, Texas is my favorite.
Yep.
Because we get to cool off as well.
True.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, water field trips are always fun. I think I'm looking forward to Kidzania, like I said earlier, just that mini city, and those kids get to be, it's very kid led, that field trip. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm really excited about a lot of ours. I love going to the Meadow Center and those glass bottom boats. There's just something about seeing all the
Mhm.
water and stuff underneath. So cool. All right, y'all, we're going to go into our Q&A now. So I'm going to put some questions up that we can answer. If you have any other questions, make sure to add them to the chat or the comments so we can get those answered for you. So Lavina right here asking, are they allowed to use phones on the bus? Ryan or Nada, do you want to share a little bit about phones or technology at camp?
Yeah, so Kidventure is a technology free camp to focus just being present at camp and being kids. So we highly encourage for none of our campers to bring their tech to camp. I know our middle school group, our sixth and ninth grade, are into the phones. If they do bring it, we ask them that they keep it on their locked up in their backpacks. Most of the times, parents reserve to keep it at home, but if they do bring it for whatever reason, we don't use them. They stay locked up in a room, tech free camp.
Great. Yeah, definitely. For sure. All right, let's see some other questions. I saw one about maybe visiting a site. Let's see here. Is there any way I can visit the Dallas location for a tour? Signed up my son and we're excited. Yay! We're so excited for you. Ryan, do you want to talk a little bit about tour visits? And this will be likely for all three cities as well if anyone else is wondering this too.
Yeah, reach out to your city. You can email Dallas@kidventure.com or give us a call here at the office. And then what we'll do is we'll work with our location to set up a scheduled time to do that tour and have somebody there available to answer questions that you have. So yeah, absolutely.
Great. Awesome. All right, let me see if we have another question I'll pull up for us. I saw one about going to Typhoon, Texas. So, how many Kidventure caregivers are at the Typhoon, Texas for Explorers in Houston? Nada, I can let you answer since it's Houston specific, but I do know this will, again, because our ratios are all the same, will go for all three cities too.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we still stick to the same ratio, 1 to 12. So they'll be rotating in their group essentially with their camp counselors. But for water field trips, we actually bring more staff in. Um, so we'll have our camp managers. We'll probably have more than two camp managers there, a coordinator, and about 2 to 3 extra counselors to kind of help with the rotating and, just maintaining kids safe. So they'll still stick to their same groups that they have at camp. We'll just have extra people to help us facilitate things.
Great. Yeah, totally. Yeah, we like to have in extra staff for those bigger field trips just to have extra eyes. We can never be too careful, right? All right, y'all. Either one of you want to answer this one. For the water field trips, will all kids be required to wear a life jacket? That's a great question.
I can take it. Yeah, I could take it. Yeah, that's a great question, Lavina. I can tell you for a Typhoon, Texas, particularly here in Houston, it might be different a little bit in Hawaiian waters. Um, we wear life jackets in the wave pool. All campers must go on in a life jacket. Even if they're strong swimmers, they must put on a life jacket before they get on the wave pool. The other rotations are not, they're not in bodies of water for a long extended period. So after the wave pool, they take off the life jacket and will continue rotating. Get like Typhoon Junior, their water slides. So they'll go down the water slides and the water goes up to the ankle. They can easily stand up. We did not do Lazy River last summer, and I believe we're not going to do it this summer either here in Houston. I know Noel and Ryan. I don't know how it differs for you guys.
Yeah, that's a good point. So we do something similar. We pick our rotations really carefully. So we'll also go in the wave pool, and every kid is required to wear their life jacket in the wave pool. We also require our staff to wear their life jackets too in the wave pool, just to make sure that, if a camper tries to grab onto them or anything happens, they can also have that safety measure there too. The only time really that our campers aren't wearing the life jackets, or if it's a slide like Nato was saying, where they can't wear their life jackets, because a lot of times they're not allowed to, just for safety precautions on the slide. But if there are other rotations where they may not need one or be required to wear one, you can also have a conversation with your camp staff and let them know, hey, I want my camper in a life jacket at all times. Maybe they can't go down the slide because I want them to not go down the slide. Maybe they can do something else. we can have that conversation too and make sure that they are well taken care of and have their life jackets on when they need to. We try to make sure we have an abundance of caution when it comes to those water trips. Ryan, do you want to touch on any of that? Is that any different for Hawaiian waters or kind of the same?
Yeah, I mean, our rotations, the only one where we're in a body of water is the wave pool. And just depending on the amount of life jackets we have, we don't always have enough for everybody. But what we do is we box a section of the wave pool less than 3 feet. So we never go beyond 3 feet of water, and our counselors are in a box, in a zone, so that they're able to properly supervise kids and make sure that they're safe during that rotation.
Yeah, totally. Great. Thank y'all. All right, let's see. Another question. This looks like maybe a question for you, Ryan. What safety
Mhm.
measures are in place for Little Elm while the kids are at the Cove multiple times per week? What's the staff to student ratio?
Yeah, so we have that same 1 to 12 ratio throughout the day, but when we go to the Cove, we have extra staff there. And it's the same as a water field trip. So we have rotations, um, and probably the main thing is we'll do a swim test every Monday, and that's good for the summer. So when those kids pass that swim test, then they're allowed to do different activities at the Cove. If they do not pass, they're more than welcome to try again each week, but they will wear a life jacket for certain rotations that they do there. But the splash pad and the slides all empty into tubes and zero water, so there's nothing there. But they will do lazy river and swimming as well. But they'll take a swim test to determine if they need a life jacket or not.
Great. Yeah, great question. Awesome.
Mhm.
All right, I know we get this question a lot. Can parents chaperone during field trips, particularly the water park ones? Unfortunately, no, we don't allow parents to come with us. However, you can go to the park or wherever we are and pay for your own admission and things like that, but we do ask that you stay away from our groups. That's just a safety precaution. The same way that we are with our closed campsites, we run extensive background checks and training and all that for the staff we have on site, and we want to keep that when we're at field trips as well. So we typically do not allow parents to chaperone. However, if you are there and paid your own way in, you can hang out at the same field trip and see what they're experiencing, but we just ask you not to join with our group so that we can maintain that level of safety just within our staff and our campers. All right, I think I have another question here. Does Kidventure have the ability to help lower level autistic children for water park field trips?
Yeah, I believe most definitely. So something that we do ask our parents is, as long as your camper can function in a 1 to 12 group, right? They're more than welcome to join our camps. We cannot provide the one-on-one assistance because we're not equipped for that. But if your camper can participate in a 1 to 12 group, that's totally fine. If you're not comfortable with, I think Noel mentioned it earlier, like you're just not comfortable in a water park and you would want your camper to wear a life jacket the whole time. We've had that too. Just communicate that to your camp director that under no circumstances your camper can take off their life jacket. Um, there is some slides or some parts of the water field trips where the facility itself, like Typhoon Texas, does not let us wear life jackets because it can get caught in the slide for whatever reason. So those kind of situations we kind of have to go case by case. What I recommend is just contact your local office so you can talk to a coordinator and we can kind of game plan for that.
Totally. Yeah, and anything that you have that you know works well for y'all, if you've been to a water park already as a family or any field trips at school or anything that you know really helps and works well, let us know that. You can add that in your registration forms or talk to your director at site and let them know, like, hey, these are some strategies that work really well for us. And they're happy to kind of come up with a game plan with you to make sure that we're able to do the best that we can and really support your camper when they're on their field trips. Cool. All right, we got a couple more here. I love it, guys. Yeah, keep coming in with the questions. We really appreciate it, and we're glad to give you a chance to ask these questions and get them answered for y'all. I see a couple specifically for Houston. For you, Nada. Shout out to you, girl. You got it. One about Constellation Field. So, what will they be doing at Constellation Field? What does this field trip look like?
Okay. Yeah, so at Constellation Field, we'll get to tour the stadium. They'll walk them through the whole stadium. They get to take pictures. Our camp directors will take pictures of that. They will also get to run the bases. So a really cool part, the field will block off a certain portion. If you know anything about Constellation, they're partnered with the Houston Astros, so it's very particular about the grass and how the field is. So they'll block off a section so our campers can run the bases. From there, they'll go and have some fun on the splash pad. It's a giant splash pad at the Constellation Field, and that they can enjoy while they're there. Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's awesome. Thanks, Anne, for that question. Let's see. So, what about pictures for parents for the Discoverer group? That's a great question too. Yeah, our directors are there taking pictures on site, usually all throughout the day as much as they can. When they're not tending to other campsite things. So they will definitely be taking pictures to have for you to see of their experiences with their KV lives and any of that fun stuff. Those pictures will definitely be there and will be uploaded to your app for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ryan, I'll send this one to you. Must all kids go on field trips? That's a great question.
Yeah, no, it's your choice if you don't want them to go on the field trip, but they won't be able to stay at camp since those counselors and director will be off site that day. So you would just have to keep them home on those days. So.
Yeah, great question. Oh, and I see that yep, for Houston. That goes for all three cities too. Yeah, same protocol for us in Austin and Houston as well. Um,
Yeah, I think no, sorry, Noel. I
oh
think
no, you're
Noel
good.
mentioned the newsletter. On the newsletter, it will mention when they will be attending the field trip. Um, so if you don't want your camper to participate that day, you don't have to bring them to camp that day. They just can't stay at camp.
And
Great.
and I'll say too, the biggest concern as a parent is safety, right? You want your kid to be safe, and going on a field trip, can be scary, especially to a water park. This is going to be my 15th summer working camp, and I've seen parents come to water parks, and when they see what Kidventure does and how we operate, especially at a water park, they're usually off suntanning within 5 minutes. We take great pride in what we do. We're organized. Safety is that number one priority. And so we do things really well, and we stand out when we do it. So field trips are fun. They can be scary, but your kids are in good hands at Kidventure for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's also great opportunity for those younger campers going into first grade when they're going to be starting to go on field trips in school. This is a great time to see, how they get through their field trip. It's a great time to practice going on field trips and kind of a little lower stake setting. It's summer camp. It's fun. It might be a little less stressful than a school field trip. So it's a great time for them to practice and start experiencing those field trips. Sandra asked if my camper misses the bus, can I meet at the field trip? Yes, that is totally fine. We just ask that you contact your director and let them know you're planning to meet them there so that the director can come and get you checked in, get the camper, and make sure that all of their stuff is there and they're ready to go for camp. Ideally, we meet all together and leave from site on the bus, but things happen. Traffic, we know, we get it. So just contact your director at your campsite. Let them know you're running a little late, and they can talk with you about meeting them at the field trip for sure. All right. Amanda asked, where can we find the schedule for each week if we are already registered?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you'll just
So
go. Oh, go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead.
yeah, so if you go to kidventure.com and you click on your city page, when you scroll down to where the map is, and you select your camp location, and there will be camp details, and that'll have your schedule for your KV lives and your field trips all listed right there.
Totally. And if you see anything, if you're not able to find it or you need help navigating to those pages, just give your city a call, let them know, and we can walk you through that as well. Cool. Thank you, Amanda. All right. Another great question here. We get this question a lot. This is great. How do you all handle medications that the camper needs to take?
Yeah, so we'll just take them with us to field trip as well. They go in this tackle box that is locked. If you provided the medical dosage form to our camp director, the camp director will follow the directions as is. So if it's on a time schedule, your camper needs to take medication at 10 o'clock, the camp director will have an alarm, all the reminders set that they need to go find that camper to give them that medication whenever it's needed. So the medication will travel with us in a locked tackle box, and it would still be administered the same as it would at camp.
Great. Yeah, thank you, Nada. Awesome. Great questions, y'all. I think we've gotten most of our questions. I saw some of our other friends in our offices answering some other questions about purchasing shirts, things like that in the chat. But if you have any questions regarding any of these things that we haven't answered yet for you, please just give us a call. Just call your city, let them know. You can find that on our website. You could also email each of our cities and ask those questions. In Austin, it's Austin at Kidventure, Houston at Kidventure, or Dallas at Kidventure. And you can just send us an email, let us know. Oh, we do have one more question we can answer real quick before we log off. Adriana asks, is Kidventure peanut free?
Well, we try. We try. So some of if your camper has a peanut allergy, it's very important that you note that in the registration. We do ask parents not to pack like peanut butter and jelly. Do an alternative if possible. Um, and it just sometimes it happens when parents forget. We'll send those reminders out like, hey, try to be peanut free, but peanut allergy. If that were to happen, we try to create a little safe section, safe place during lunch where that particular area is peanut free. We don't exclude your camper. We actually have more campers join them, but we know that in that particular area, it's going to be peanut free and try to keep it safe and clean as possible.
Yes,
Yeah, and
definitely.
bring his EpiPen with them, all in that medical dosage form. So, mhm.
Yeah, that's great. And their counselor will have that EpiPen on them at all times, and be with them so that that's available too. And our counselors do. They get a group list of their group, and they also can see all of the campers at their campsite, see what the allergies are, so they can be aware of every camper's allergies. Be really mindful of that. And then, like Nada was saying, we don't want them to sit alone if they have some kind of allergy. So typically, we'll ask them to invite some of their friends, and we'll just very privately check their lunches and make sure there's nothing in there they're allergic to. That way they can still hang out with their friends, of course. Great
Yeah,
question.
and I would also add like for peanut allergies, in particular, I would be specific. Some peanut allergies are just digestive, some are airborne, some are just touch. So be as specific on the medical dosage form and on the registration form. Our camp directors will contact you a week ahead if they see that noted, just so they can kind of game plan, but be very, very specific how the allergy reacts.
Great. Yeah, yeah. Any
Mhm.
details you can provide us, the better for sure. I saw one more question come in. This is a good one, but also very city specific. So Brittany asked which meals are provided with the catering options. That'll differ by city, and our lunch menus are kind of released on a different schedule between the cities. So I know in Austin we're awaiting our menu right now, so we haven't received that yet. I know Houston and Dallas may be a little different, but if you're looking to get that menu or get an idea of what meals are going to be provided with catering, you can call them, those offices, and ask them, what you're looking at. I know that most of our catering, at least in Austin, I know for sure, and Nada and Ryan, you can speak to this too. They are in nut-free facilities. There's also vegetarian options, vegan options, gluten-free options. We try to provide all those things so that if you have an allergy or you're vegetarian or looking for something specific, we can provide that to you too.
Yeah, in
And the
Houston,
caterer,
it's yeah. Go ahead, Ryan.
I was just going to say on the in the catering on the field trip day would be a sack lunch for them,
Mhm.
uh, for that field trip specifically.
Yeah. I can say in Houston, we don't have the great options that Austin has, but it is a pork free facility and peanut free facility. Houston is a sack lunch, like Ryan mentioned. It's usually like a turkey slider with veggies and fruits and water. Hmm.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for that question, Brittany. That was great. All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you all for your questions and for hanging out with us today talking about field trips and KV Lives. These are really special opportunities for our campers, and we love getting to plan these. As the 3 coordinators, this is kind of a big part of our job, is going through, all the schedules and figuring out what field trips we want to go to, what KV Lives we want to bring to our campers. So we love getting to talk about this. If you have any other questions, reach out, ask us. If you want to talk through what those field trips look like a little bit more in detail, we're happy to chat. Yeah, Ryan and Ada, thanks so much for joining today. This was great having you.
Thanks for having us,
Yeah.
Noel.
Mhm.
Awesome. All right, y'all. Yeah, you can reach out to us at our offices, at our emails. We also have another live stream coming up on Wednesday, May 7th. This is a really big, important one. This is our Preparing for Camp live stream. So, we're going to take you through all the details to make sure you're set up for camp before it begins. So, definitely join us there. This is also recorded so that you can go back to refer to it if you want to send it to friends or if they have any other questions too. You can find it on our YouTube as well as on our website under the parent tab. There's Kidventure webinars, and this will be posted there. You can also see there where our next live stream is and watch it from there as well. But thank you all so much for joining us. I hope it's not raining too much where everyone is and everyone has a great day. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.